want you to know, each and every one of you, how very grateful I am to you for saving my life. Of course, you did take your own sweet time about it.
Well, you know, Lucy, we like to keep things interesting around here, huh?
Personally, I could have used a little less of the interesting, but she's right. You did an amazing job, and I'm indebted to all of you.
The words every doctor loves to hear.
I'm just glad that we put Rex away before he was able to hurt anybody else.
Yeah.
Here, here.
Yeah. Miss Coe, if you have anything else nice to say about us, be sure and tell Dr. Borden, okay?
Boardman, listen. If he tries to give you any grief at all, just bring up my name and remind him we were both wrong. Because he was the one that wanted to pull the plug, wasn't he?
No, he was just trying to give you what you asked for. You did sign a DNR after all.
Yeah, but what do I know? I'm just the patient. He's the doctor. He should know better.
You astound me. On that note, good night.
Thank you.
Bye,
Thank you, thank you.
Goodbye.
Matt.
I'd like to keep this as low-key as possible, please.
Where is Chris Ramsey?
Excuse me. Hi, I'm Dr. Ramsey.
Federal Marshal Singleton. Could we have a few minutes of your time, Dr. Ramsey?
What's this about?
In private, Dr. Ramsey.
What's going on?
I'm sorry.
No, I shouldn't have yelled.
Shouldn't have stood you up.
I overreacted. You
No,
don't
you
need to
have
apologize.
Joe.
Can I get a word in here edgewise?
I love this bracelet. It's beautiful.
It's beautiful on you.
So, where is everybody?
Frank's working, Lark's at school, Eve and Julie are at the hospital.
So, we're alone?
Yeah, don't tempt me.
Why not?
Because I'll give in.
When are you due back at the hospital?
Not for a couple hours.
That gives us just enough time, don't you think? So, is this the famous lair of Joe Scanlon? It's a little smaller than I thought it
Well,
would be.
Frank was lucky and got the bigger room.
Ah, the life of the younger brother, huh? Was this your haven when you were a little kid?
Yes, in fact, I would take the comforter of my bed and I'd make this tent, and I'd pretend I was a cowboy, slaying under the stars, tending to my cows.
Cows. I remember this baseball game. You hit the winning home run. The complete works of James Joyce.
I've been such a fan since high school. I can't tell you how many times I've read The Dubliners.
This is one of my favorites, too.
I feel like I know the family. I mean, I know where they've been, what they've lost.
When they've been disillusioned.
Yeah.
What?
I was just thinking how many years I've known you, and you've never been in my room.
Does that make you feel like I might discover all your secrets?
Something like that, yeah. In fact, I've never even had a woman or a girl in my room.
Do you expect me to believe that? Come on, I heard you used to have to stand in line to get into this room.
You remember what my parents were like, remember? No girls upstairs, no company after 8.
Sally Massler. Remember her? That's not what she
Kinda.
used to say. Yeah?
Okay, I admit,
Yeah?
I did try to coax her up here one time when my parents were out of town.
Coax. That's not what she called it. Coax.
I was helping her with her geometry.
Right. This bed is so tiny. How do you sleep on
What are
this
you
thing?
talking about? It's fine.
Yeah.
Perfect for 2.
You're lying on top of each other.
Exactly.
Yeah, Joe, this is a perfect bed.
So am I going to get the good Marshall, bad Marshall routine?
Well, we're both bad, Dr. Ramsey. Why did you send Dr. Harmon an email warning him to get out of town? Did someone put you up to it?
No, I didn't send it. I told Matt I don't know who did.
The message had your computer log on ID.
But that doesn't mean I wrote it. I mean, anyone could have accessed my account. All they'd need is my password.
Well, how does someone get your password?
It's not like it's very difficult.
Enlighten us.
You know, it's not like any of us maintain high security on our email around here. In fact, just the other day, a bunch of us were horsing around, and one of the other doctors, Joe Scanlon, he just guessed my password.
And did you change it after that?
Well, I couldn't do it right away because I had to answer an emergency code. But I suppose anybody could have logged on using my name before I got to it.
We'll need the names of every person who might have overheard your password.
Okay. Tell me, why are federal agents investigating a computer prank?
Well, interfering with the mail, even if it's electronic, is a federal offense. Prank or not, you're our main suspect.
Just because it had my name on it?
If you sent that message, I'd hire a lawyer. If you didn't, then you have nothing to worry about.
Welcome home to the future Mrs. Co. Collins. Ugh.
Siggy? Sigmund, where are you?
Oh, I think he wants equal time with the lady of the house. Oh,
Siggy!
Sigmund, come here.
Oh, Sigmund, come here. Oh, boy, did I ever miss you. Look at me. I have everything I want. Got my man, and I got my duck.
And you have us both.
This is heaven. Doc, it really is heaven. I'll see you in a second.
Yeah, there you are. Why don't you take a walk, will you? Welcome home.
What do you think those marshals wanted with Chris? I have no idea, but they sure knew who Matt was. Did you ask Matt how? He says they're investigating because he's been getting threatening mail from Chris. He doesn't know. He's really taking this seriously. Okay, who could possibly want to hurt Matt?
This is exactly what I was afraid of. Marshals are here. Everyone's trying to figure out why all the fingers are pointing at me.
We have got to find out who sent those messages.
Well, we finished with Dr. Ramsey.
And?
The computer system here isn't secure. He claims that other staff members knew his email password.
So what are you going to do?
We'll have to question the people he named. Are you Grace Sullivan?
Yes, I am.
May we have a few moments of your time, please?
Okay.
Dr. Morgan, 5566. Dr. Cassandra Morgan, 5566.
Hey, you mind telling me what's going on?
Just trying to find out who sent that email.
Yeah, well, it
Chris.
wasn't me, all right? Look, I'm sorry, but it's just I've never been questioned by federal agents before.
Well, I'm sorry if I've brought you any trouble.
The threat must have been pretty serious.
Yeah, it was.
Look, Matt, if you're in trouble, I want to help. Whatever you need.
I need the truth. And I don't think I'm getting it.
Looks like old Maddie's getting a little paranoid.
I was there when Joe guessed Chris's password, but so were a lot of other people.
Have you, at any time, signed on to the hospital network using Dr. Ramsey's logon?
No, I've never used any logon but my own.
Where were you on March 3rd at 3:48 p.m.?
I was in the lab most of the day.
How about after that?
I was in surgery, observing a pediatric kidney transplant.
I was on rounds.
I was at the nurse's station.
Did you notice who was on the computer that day?
Well, everyone uses that computer all day long. It's not something you would notice.
Can you think of anyone who would want to hurt Dr. Harmon?
This is a competitive environment. But no, I can't think of anyone who would resort to physical violence.
He did tell me that he was hiding from people that want to hurt him. But I haven't told anyone, not a soul.
The last thing in the world that I want to do right now is go into work.
We're not going down the hooky road again. Besides, I don't think we could do any more of what we want to do because it's like making love in a shoebox in here. Joe, I still feel bad about standing you up.
In case you haven't noticed, I accepted your apology.
I know. I just want you to know that I just completely lost track of time when I was in the lab. I'm really sorry.
Noticed.
It's like when I'm in the lab, time just flies. And when I'm not in the lab, I find myself reading research articles, things I never thought would be interesting.
Are you turning into a lab rat before my eyes, huh?
Maybe. You know, it's the turn of the century, and there's so much amazing stuff going on. Bioengineering, cell regeneration.
Research is okay, but surgery is definitely for me.
I don't know, but the things that I do in research are probably going to affect what you do in surgery. We could even become partners.
Sounds like a good idea. But you have to do me one favor.
What?
You're standing on the stage accepting your Nobel Prize. Wave to me out in the audience, okay?
Okay.
Promise?
Yes.
There we go.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
My, you sure don't eat like someone who was on her deathbed a few days ago.
I certainly do not feel like one either. Do you know, I am ready to jump back into life with both my little tootsies. You know, I think it is. I think that when you come that close to dying, you realize how much time we all actually really have. What?
Oh, I was just thinking about how close I came to losing you.
But you didn't. And you never, ever will. You know what we're going to do today? I want to start planning our wedding. We have to. I mean, if we're going to pull this thing off in May, we got to get going with the guest list. We got to get flowers. Ooh, music. We have to think about who's going to perform the ceremony, what I'm going to wear, and flowers. You know what? I'm going to get my address book and use the same flower guide that I used when Rex threw that whole engagement party thing because those garlands were magnificent. I love those.
Really? Oh, you know, I didn't even notice the flowers at that party.
You know what? Come to think of it, if I used the same person, then that would probably just remind me of that man. I'm not going to have that.
I have an even better idea. Why don't I go find your organizer and you can do all your planning from bed?
Oh, thank you.
All right.
You have a definite problem here, Matt, and I, for one, am not that interested in solving.
So death threats against federal witnesses aren't your jurisdiction anymore?
Not when the witness refuses to cooperate.
I am cooperating. I asked you guys to keep a low profile. You're questioning everybody in the hospital. Why don't you just put a bullseye around my neck?
I have 2 dead marshals, friends of mine who died protecting you. We're going to find out who killed them. And keeping your identity a secret has nothing to do with that anymore.
So you're just hanging me out to dry?
You've told people who you really are. This Ellen Burgess knows. And now we find out you told a nurse.
I'm wondering if you didn't blow your cover before Philadelphia. Did you leak information that you would be in that hotel?
Yeah. I'm trying to commit suicide.
2 men are blown to bits, but you miraculously survived. You refused to leave Port Charles.
You didn't decide to change sides after all these years?
This is ridiculous.
If I find out that you intentionally sabotaged this case and got those men killed, you'll have more to deal with than the Mancusi's trying to find you. We already know where you are.
Here you are.
Thank you. You know what? I think I'm having delayed stress syndrome here. I just realized when I think about what Rex really did to you and to me and to Serena and to Scott and everybody else, I'm getting so angry I can't even see straight.
I suggest just picturing him in his cell for the rest of his pathetic life. He's getting what he deserves.
No. No. That is not good enough.
Lucy, rage is an appropriate response for what he did to us, but in time, he'll just be a bad memory.
No to that, too. I don't want to waste my energy being angry all the time. I want to eradicate it.
All right, how do you propose to do that?
By going to see him one last time.
Lucy, I don't know.
Doc, come on. I want to look that man right in the eye, and I want to show him he did not win.
Okay, we're closer than we've ever been. We're calling hospitals all over the country. We're looking for a disabled man who suffered explosion injuries. It's like nothing yet.
Either he wasn't hurt badly, or he found someone else to treat. We're not giving up on this. You understand? Someone knows where he is. All we have to do is find out.
What did the marshal say?
Oh, didn't you hear? I'm under suspicion for murder. You told them that you know the truth about me, right? See, because they think I've been on it the whole time.
Matt, I was just trying to be as helpful as possible.
Grace, it's not your fault. I just have to face the facts. And the feds aren't going to help me. The people who are looking for me won't quit.
Is there anything that I can do?
This has already gotten way too public. You and Ellen can keep a secret. But other people are starting to get curious. And if they figure it out, I'm dead, man.
Dr. Shari Aaron to labor and delivery. Dr. Shari Aaron to labor and delivery.
Hey, what's going on here? You just missed the great Port Charles Inquisition.
Federal marshals were here investigating a death threat against Matt.
What? Who would want to hurt Matt?
That's the million-dollar question. Whoever does, use my email account to send the damn thing.
Wait a second. Why federal marshals? I mean, shouldn't the local authorities be investigating this?
Yeah, that's what we were just trying to figure out. It doesn't seem serious enough for a federal investigation.
Well, maybe it's more serious than we know.
Karen, didn't you mention recently seeing something in the news about a couple federal marshals that were killed?
I don't remember anything like that.
I haven't heard anything about that.
There it is. Federal marshals killed in bomb blast.
Where's the date?
It says 4 weeks ago.
About the time Matt got sick.
Sort of. It happened about the time he took off.
And then came back injured.
Are you saying Matt had something to do with that explosion?
Just seems odd.
his injuries were from an explosion.
Yeah, one that happened in a garage, not in a hotel room where people were killed.
The feds were killed. And now they're here asking questions after Matt gets a death threat?
Wait a minute, guys. It says federal marshals were protecting a witness.
Well, what happened to the witness?
He escaped the bombing.
He. You think Matt was that witness?
This is Charles Gibson.
And Lisa McCree. Tomorrow, can having more intimacy in your life make you healthier? The link between love and survival.
Plus ways to save enough to send your kids to college. And Chef Emeril Lagasse on Good Morning America.